Welcome to the Movou Digital Marketing Podcast.
What is up, everybody? It's Chris Leo here with Movou Digital Marketing for another edition of our digital marketing podcast. And today I want to talk about content marketing. Now, before we do that, remember to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button. And if you know any business owners that are trying to get more business and just haven't quite figured out the puzzle that is digital marketing, be sure to share this with them. We are here to help everyone. So the first thing I guess we need to address is, what is content marketing? You know, a lot of people have different views and thoughts on it, and really content marketing, it's what allows you to flex your muscles and become an industry leader in whatever vertical market you are in. Content marketing is ongoing content. It's different than the evergreen content, let's say, what marketing nerds call it on your website. Evergreen content would be like your about page, let's say, or your contact page. You know, you put it on the website and it never really changes. What content marketing allows you to do is continually educate and update prospective customers either on emerging trends in your industry, tips and how-tos, background information, maybe on some services that you offer. It basically just allows you to flex your thought leadership muscles. The most common types of content that people use for content marketing, probably number one is blogs. So you've got, blog articles that you put on your website. You could do videos like this one that then you can repurpose and use as content on your website as well. Infographics, even maybe some memes or charts, but all of that type of stuff revolves in the realm of content marketing. So if you're already saying to yourself, oh man, that sounds like a lot of work, I've got some bad news for you. Content marketing does involve elbow grease. The benefit, of course, is it's time, not necessarily money. Now, I know time is money, but unlike running, let's say, a digital ad campaign, you're not actually spending hard cash to develop this content, most likely. It's something that you're researching and putting in the time to do, or maybe hiring a company like us to do it for you. So there is, of course, some costs involved, but nowhere near what it would be for a digital ad campaign. Now, the interesting thing that I've found in the decade or two that we've been doing content for companies is how different industries adapt and adopt it. What I've noticed is professional service companies tend to really lean into content marketing. So, for instance, our real estate clients or our business coaches or CPAs, attorneys, content marketing is a great way for them to express complex ideas of what they do in very simple terms that anybody can understand, making potential customers comfortable with the decision they're going to make and informed, so that way they look at those people as a thought leader and they want to do business with them. The really interesting thing we found, though, is there are some companies that just don't quite get it or just aren't into it. For instance, home services companies are one of them. When we are approached by, say, like a plumbing company or a HVAC company or a roofing company, one of the first things we suggest to them is to help build web traffic, because that's what they want. Everybody always comes to us saying, we want to be first on Google. But what does it mean and how are you going to get there? And content is one of the best ways to do that. And so what we've been working on is really a shift in how these companies think about the content. And it's not just a time suck, but it's time that's invested wisely for them to really show a potential customer that they are the experts in whatever field they're in. So, whether it's a HVAC company, they feel comfortable, a homeowner would, in hiring them to come and clean their ducts. Or, just like if it's a CPA, it's somebody that they feel comfortable, understands the tax law, and is going to follow all the rules, but, help them save their money and move money around wisely, so that way they have the least tax burden possible, for instance. So there is a lot of benefit, even with the time that you have to invest in generating high quality content and marketing it on your website and your social media platforms. Now, if you're still skeptical and you're not quite sure that this makes sense, why don't we run down some reasons specifically why content marketing is such a powerful tool in your arsenal to help build your web traffic, generate more conversions, which then of course leads to more leads, which will lead to more business. So first of all, there's the obvious one. Content marketing is going to help you get more conversions on your website. And here's why. The content that you're going to write, we always talk about this episode after episode after episode. The very first thing you do with any marketing campaign is you develop either customer avatars or personas. Again, that's just marketing nerd speak for semi-fictional stories about who your ideal customer is, what challenges they're facing, what interests they have, what goals they have, what problems they're trying to solve. And you're going to take that as the roadmap and you're going to build your content around that. So if you correctly build out your client personas and you start crafting content built around those challenges, goals, wants, and needs, what's going to happen is when they go to Google and let's say, for instance, they type in, top tax deductions for 2021, or maybe how to get rid of excess dust in a house. They're going to find, an article in Google results from a CPA firm or from an HVAC company, maybe about duct cleaning. And in that content, they're going to read it and they're going to say, oh, these guys know, what they're doing. This is interesting. This is a problem I have. They get me. They can solve my problem. So it's just natural then that they're going to click that button to take the next step, or they're going to pick up the phone and make a phone call or send an email or click on that chat icon on the website to talk with one of your customer service reps. So the content that you're creating naturally is just going to lead to that next step of conversion. So somewhat related to that, and probably not surprising, a good content marketing strategy also helps with your SEO. So again, you're creating content that revolves around the questions and the needs that your ideal customers have. And so content that you put on your blog, on your website, tends to fare really well with what they call long tail keyword searches. What a long tail keyword search is, basically, think of it as just like a phrase. When you go to Google, so let's say you're looking for a landscape maintenance company, and you might type in something like landscapers near me, or best landscaper in Palo Alto, California. So you get the point. It's kind of stream of conscious how people type into Google. And so by having content that matches the questions that your ideal customers are so interested in figuring out the answers to, or the problems that they really need to solve, you're going to start indexing on these searches. And the more relevant the content and the more people engage with it or share it, Google notices all these things. So your authority in this section is actually going to increase, and then your web rankings will increase as a result. So as your search rankings start going up and more people are seeing your content, it's going to really establish you, like we've been talking about, as an industry expert or a leader in whatever vertical market you're in or profession you're in. What happens is the content that you're building, it's high quality. It's answering the questions that your ideal potential customers are desperately searching to figure out. And so you're going to be seen as a trustworthy source of information. Trustworthy, that's the key element here, because again, like we've talked about, in order to do business with you, they have to know you, like you, and trust you. And people want to work with the best. And if you're answering their questions that they are so desperately trying to figure out, why wouldn't they think of you as the thought leader? So definitely, content marketing helps. And as you're building yourself as an industry leader in your profession, what this does is this helps with your brand awareness. And believe it or not, it also helps with your social media presence. And here's how. There's tons of companies out there that you know of that have tons and tons of followers. Now, they could have gotten them legitimately by just, toughing it out and doing the good fight and just slowly building over time. Or maybe they tried to shortcut it and cheated and they bought visitors. And pro tip, don't ever buy social media visitors. You will regret it. All the algorithms on these social media platforms are built to detect this. It's going to make the road that you're hoeing that much longer. But if you have a following, doesn't matter how big it is if they're not engaged with you. Think about this. Would you rather have 100 million followers on your Instagram account that never engage with your posts and that you're generating no business from? Or would you rather have maybe 5,000 or even 1,000 that are consistently sharing your posts, asking questions, requesting quotes or maybe a consultation, and actually turning into business? So, like we talked about in our last episode with email marketing, every marketing initiative, you have to have a goal. And so if your goal is to become a thought leader, you need to also think of your social media goals. And your goal certainly isn't to have 100 million followers that do nothing. I mean, yeah, I guess clout-wise, you could brag about it at industry events or mixers, but what does it mean? Nothing. Clout isn't going to pay your kid's college tuition, or it's not going to help you hire that next employee or even buy groceries or pay rent. But business does. And so the more you share your content as you're building up your authority and your thought leadership position on social media platforms, the more people that are following you see your content, they're going to comment, they're going to ask questions, they're going to like the content, therefore making it more visible to other people on the platform. They're also going to share it with their friends by putting it on their particular platform. So, for instance, if I get your post, I share it to my Facebook wall, and then one of my friends reads it, and they're like, oh, that's really interesting. And then they share it to their wall, and then their friends start sharing. It just becomes viral, and it starts spreading. So your content, you can leverage it to build the engagement on your social media platforms, and that's actually going to build you a much more engaged audience that's more likely to do business with you. And at the end of the day, that's what all of this is about, right? Doing more business. So as you can see, a lot of what we've been talking about really is building expertise and trust. Again, for somebody to do business with you, they have to know you, like you, and trust you. And so if you're putting out content that's thoughtful and value added and really answers all the questions that your ideal potential customer might have with whatever challenge, goal, or want that they're looking to solve, they're going to trust you. Remember, you're offering them answers to all these questions with no expectation of anything in return. And there's going to be that inherent thing inside of them. It's just part of the human condition that they're going to want to return the favor. And how they're going to return the favor is by calling you and scheduling an appointment, or engaging with you to get more information. And when they need your services, then you're going to be top of mind. So good content builds trust, and trust leads to more business. And finally, the last benefit of content marketing, we talked about it briefly at the top of this podcast. It's that it saves you expense. Now, I get it. Lots of companies hire third-party companies to do their content. For instance, we do tons of content for our real estate clients, home services clients, tech startups, you name it. And so there is, in a sense, a fee involved in that, right? Because we have monthly retainer fees. But content marketing saves you money because there's no associated ad spend with it. So you are investing your time. And time, of course, is money, but this is the lowest cost form of marketing that you can do. So that's it, guys. We've done a couple of things on content marketing in the past, and the question's just been coming up more and more frequently. Like I said, specifically with home services companies, but I've really always been a giant proponent of content marketing, and mostly because we eat our own dog food. A prior company I had before this one, we grew it from basically $0 to $5 million, all leaning on content marketing. We didn't spend $1 on any paid advertisement. We just, like good soldiers, marched forward, churning out tons of value-added content to the ideal customer personas that we had developed, answering the questions they had, the needs they had, and we were able to do it. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't easy. It was a lot of work. And for most companies, they're not at a size where maybe they have like a team that can do this or even a person in-house. And that's where agencies come in. There's lots of content marketing agencies. There's lots of digital marketing agencies that offer content services, just like us. So, if you can't be relentlessly consistent with it, I would definitely suggest, pinging one of those companies. We would love to do a discovery call with you, see what your goals are, and put together a plan that's going to help you on your way to building this thought leadership position that's going to get you more business and help you reach your goals. Remember, we're always here for free advice. If you have any questions, definitely put it down in the comment section. You can go to our website and you can request a consultation. We're happy to listen to whatever ideas or questions you have, give you some advice, and hopefully we can, push you the right direction. If you've already decided that this just isn't for you, but you definitely want it as part of your marketing plans for your company, we're more than happy to book a discovery call with you as well and let you know how we can help you and really help you figure out, how to get where you want to get. At the end of the day, we are here to help people. Digital marketing is not tough, and we want to help every business owner reach their goals and change their lives. That's it, guys. Have a great day.
Hey, guys, please take a minute to subscribe to our podcast and our blog, smash that like button, and give us some feedback in the comments. Your input means the world to me.